Alana. I'm going to be talking about my complex today. I wanted to start off by saying that I really enjoyed this process. In the beginning, I found it really challenging, and the more that I was able to sit with it and just explore what was coming up for me, I just really enjoyed the creative energy that emerged. So, yeah. Here we go. All right. Here is my complex, and I'm just gonna give you a little tour. So that's it from the top. And let's go around a little bit. So this is my complex, and it is a representation of my thyroid. Yeah. When I started on this project, I was actually feeling quite resistant to focusing on my thyroid. 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's thyroiditis, so it's an autoimmune disease. And it was really interesting because throughout the process of this project, it just kept standing out to me just around the surface symptom. And so, yeah, the more that I leaned in and kind of let that be here, it was really neat to be able to come up with my own artistic expression of my thyroid. So your thyroid lives right here in the middle, and it's like a butterfly shape. And it controls like your just like your whole vitality, your immune system, essentially. And so this right here, let's see if I can give you a better view of it. Let's get you down here. Okay, so this right here, this is to represent my thyroid, and all of these little hazelnuts, that's like to represent like the middle section of, the like actual thyroid. So I use that to represent the my thyroid there in my neck. And so I just wanted to explain that a little bit more. And so as a surface symptom, it is invisible in a lot of ways. You probably look at me and you're like, oh, Lana, she's got it. Nothing going on for her. I mean, obviously we all have stuff going on, but so it's a piece that feels very connective to just my past experiences, my archetypal core, but just that weaving of my symptom that like I can't turn away from, right? It's a chronic illness. And so I think, an aspect too of in the making of this was like within beauty there is suffering. And so just my complex here, there's so much beauty, and within, like, behind that, there's also a lot of pain. And so just feeling, felt really like connected also to the flowers and the plants that I chose. Some of my favorite flowers, like straw flower and celosia, They're just such resilient and really beautiful flowers. So yeah, definitely feeling connected to that. Also, another aspect too is that I feel like within my autoimmune disease that it's here trying to communicate with me, and so I chose plants and also this way of kind of making an altar or a sacred place because nature is really grounding for me, and feel like it really connects with my soul, and I feel definitely my nervous system settle when I get to have immersive time in nature. And so yeah, I think that was also like a big calling too in this project, was feeling really drawn to nature and how much that communicates to me, and this connection around like my chronic illness like trying to communicate to me, and the wrestling that I feel with being able to listen and slow down. So yeah, and then going a layer deeper, my personal experience, my personal and past experiences definitely have some like traumas that are definitely connected, and I'll speak to some of those. So when I was young, my dad passed away when I was 6. He had a heart attack and passed away suddenly, unexpectedly, and so that has had a rippling effect on me, and I didn't start processing that until I was like 28 years old. And when I moved to the Bay Area, I was like, oh, I have this really big loss. I feel like it's really been affecting me, and wasn't sure how. And so actually the timing is quite interesting. Like I started that, and then like a few years later got diagnosed with Hashimoto's, and so yeah, that has really impacted me, and have a lot around like abandonment. And I also had a mother who was emotionally immature, and so I did a lot of like emotional caretaking for her, and felt very like alone. I wasn't the easy child, and definitely just had to mature a lot quicker than most kids, and so there are aspects too that I like missed some parts of my development as a child. So yeah, definitely notice like there's some stored trauma in my body, and this is like a calling out. My body's, there's like a calling out of like, listen to us, listen, Milana. And so yeah, I think I also, a piece I was thinking about as well is like, I'm a white cisgender Jewish woman, and I was thinking about just ancestrally, like as a people's, like I am from a people's who fled and who were persecuted, and so just ancestrally and intergenerationally, like within my own system, like that is definitely present, like the running, the like being in the fight or flight response, so being in that trauma response. And so something that I also notice and I've described in therapy is feeling like I'm in this functional freeze, where like I'm functional and I can like do life, but that frozenness. And so there's definitely like pieces for sure, like especially in my own family line, like my family lived in Spain, and then during the Spanish Inquisition they were kicked out because they were Jewish, and they fled to Greece. And so yeah, definitely feel like that, the running, the going, and so then when I boiled down to the archetypal core, I was really drawn to a few of the archetypes. Some of the ones that stood out to me were the flame, the vessel, the creator, the seed, and the orphan. And I definitely feel like all 5 of these like have a relationship inside my system, and something that just really stood out to me, just even in the creation of my of like the embodiment and my own expression of my thyroid, where that like the flame talked a lot about just like having vitality, and feeling like a center of the abdomen. And so it definitely felt like, and they talked about like having good digestion, and like that is a symptom that I have, is like my digestion is really sensitive, and so it's a part that I can't turn away from, and that that I'm really embracing and needing to look at. And so I thought it was also interesting that like in here, oops, there we go, sorry, that like there were these elements of flame. So like the yellow straw flowers, that there's just like flames around. And so that was really speaking to me. And then also like one final piece that I thought was really powerful, that even in the making of this representation of my complex, that I really felt like I was creating a sacred place. And in thinking about my dad's passing, like there's something just here around being able to create a burial or a vessel or a holding. And I don't really feel like I understood that when I was young. And so I definitely feel like I'm understanding what it means to be held, what it means to be a vessel, and to take care of myself in this like deep healing, and in my wounds. And so then taking a step further out, I was thinking about my complex, and I was feeling most drawn to the victim complex, because I feel like in my life, especially with the passing of my dad, like that I had no agency, and there were definitely parts of me as a kid that were like not tended to, because my mom didn't have capacity. And so and obviously I have my own like wounding around that, but I definitely feel like a big like key piece in learning for me, especially with this like symptom that I can't turn away from, it's chronic, it will be with me, is that there is an element of learning to not over-identify with this illness, as well as that I am not my story, and that like my story is a part of who I am, but that is not all of who I am. And I feel like that is a key element too, is like being a victim. Like I can get in that mindset of like, here we go, like this is happening again, or like, oh, this is never gonna get better. And so a lot of like reframing and like reorienting. And so that is my complex. Okay, thank you, bye.